Begins with the New York Yankees in town. The Blue Jays picked up David Price on July 30th, and Pat, they looked at the schedule when they first got Price. They set him up to have the biggest impact against the New York Yankees.
Well, you have to have a game plan together, and I thought the Blue Jays, after they got those great players right at the trade deadline, they put a game plan together. They had 6 off days between then and now, and they jigged that starting rotation where David Price would get 4 starts against the New York Yankees, and so far it has worked for him. Price, it's 4th time that he's going to be facing the Yankees. He's undefeated against them. This is a big series. Yes, this is a big series, and they need to win this one, but it's only 10 games left in the season after this series right here. This is the last chance for the Blue Jays to go head-to-head with their nearest competitor within their division, so they need a big series, and they need a good start from David Price.
The important number, the Blue Jays are 2.5 games ahead of the New York Yankees in the AL East. Let's take a look at the lineup for Joe Girardi's New York Yankees. The Yankees took 2 of 3 from the Mets at Citi Field in their last interleague play of the season. Top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury, Brett Gardner, Alex Rodriguez back in the lineup because National League rules. He pinch hit 3 times in that Mets series. Brian McCann has good numbers against the Blue Jays starter David Price. He's 10 for 26 with 3 career home runs against Price. And then how about the rookie Greg Bird? He didn't come up until middle of August, and he's had some impact on this team, filling in for the injured Mark Teixeira. 5-game hit streak. He's had 6 hits in his last 17 at-bats, and he's done some damage with the long ball.
Notice all those left-handed batters in the lineup there for David Price as he gets ready for his 31st start of the season at 10th as a Blue Jay. That 242 earned run average, that's the best in the American League. Left-handed hitters have hit just 220 against David. 4th lowest among active starters. Kershaw, C.J. Wilson, and Francisco Liriano have a better batting average against than Price, who's 220. 6 left-handed batters in the lineup for the Yankees tonight for David Price.
Trying to go with the numbers, and left-handers have hit just 3 home runs against Price, but Joe Girardi has stacked his lineup. This is Jacoby Ellsbury. Price is set. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It is in there for a strike, and we are underway. Ellsbury has hit in 10 straight against the Blue Jays. 259 average for the season. That's bounced foul wide of first.
Every time we talk about the New York Yankees, it's Ellsbury and Gardner, the guys, I think, the keys for the Blue Jays to get out if they have any chance at winning this series.
The Blue Jays have really handled these 2 left-handed bats this season. But for their career, they've both hit over 300 against the Blue Jays. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bounced foul. What can Price do to negate the impact of these left-handed bats?
Get him out. Number one, I think we have seen him start to throw more curveballs and more changeups. He's not afraid to throw that to the left-handed batters. He's been throwing a lot of cutters, both sides of the plate. But I think his changeup and curveball will be effective against him.
Cutter, and Price puts the glove up in front of his face and snares it. And another big smile from David Price. He had it all the way.
Oh my goodness, this could have been scary. This could have been real scary, and if you're David Price, you take off a walk off the backside of that mound and catch your breath. This one right at the face, and he's athletic enough and quick enough to put the glove up and just snare it. Good to see him smile after that one, but that was scary.
It sure was scary. It was right at his head, but he got his glove up in time. It says Brett Gardner. He takes a strike. Gardner leads the Yankees this season in home runs and RBIs against the Blue Jays. He's hit 4 home runs and driven in 9. That's a foul ball just wide of first.
What a series Gardner had against the Blue Jays back at Yankee Stadium. That big 4-game series the last time we saw him. Home run after home run, big hit after big hit.
See his 4 home runs and 9 RBIs in this ballpark. He's a .333 hitter against the Jays. Breaking ball lifted into center. Pilar on the move. He gets there.
Designated hitter number 13, Alex Rodriguez.
Well, the great Reggie Jackson always said they don't boo nobodies. Alex Rodriguez has had a terrific season. 32 home runs, 83 RBIs. He had to sit out the series against the Mets in interleague play. He had 3 pinch hit at bats. He walked twice. Alex Rodriguez is now 40 years old. Price is pounding that strike zone early. There's a cutter that misses inside. It's 1-1.
Joe Girardi was talking about not having him in that Mets series, and it was not a good thing, not being able to write his name in the lineup. He said, I'm going to look forward to writing him in that number 3 hole for 3 games in Toronto. And he's put up big numbers in his career in this ballpark.
He sure has, and he likes the big spotlight, obviously, and there's not a bigger series for either one of these teams than this 3-game series here tonight. Well, Rodriguez fouls that one right off his leg. That cutter really ate him up, down and in. He wears that shin guard, but it appears as though it didn't hit that shin guard on his left leg.
Yeah, he wears it up very high. You can see it actually on the shin, but this one looked like it went off the ankle, just underneath the shin. Boy, and he's hurting. I mean, that is right off of that ankle bone.
Well, the Yankees have already had one of these that ended the season for Mark Teixeira. He fouled the ball off his leg and suffered a fractured bone in his leg, and he's done for the season.
And if you've never done that, you don't know what it feels like. It is very painful. I guarantee you right now that Alex Rodriguez doesn't feel his left foot.
It's like you get hit with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, and it's going to take you a while before you start to get the feeling back in your foot. And the only thing that makes it feel better, getting a base hit.
Coming inside. There are a lot of stars in this series. And stars love the spotlight. They want meaningful games. Rodriguez in his career is at 36 home runs in this ballpark. He has 99 career RBIs, and there's a star at third having an MVP caliber season.
There's going to be stars all over the field for this series. There's one on the mound tonight for the Blue Jays. You got to pound Rodriguez inside if it's me.
Broken bat. That's going to sneak past Pennington into center. Rodriguez running very gingerly up the first base line. Take a look at the defense. Rodriguez is at first with 2 outs. David Price has already earned a red star in the book tonight with that comebacker. Revere, Pilar, and Bautista in the outfield, and the Blue Jays had a rough game defensively yesterday. They committed 3 errors. Donaldson, Goins, Pennington, and Smoke from third to first, respectively. Russell Martin behind the plate for his 107th start of the season.
Uncharacteristically, they made errors in yesterday's game. 3 of them, one of them by this guy right here, Ryan Goins, but overall he's been outstanding. 364 and 2/3 innings at shortstop this year for the Blue Jays. 196 total chances, just 4 errors. The error that he made yesterday, just his 4th as a shortstop. He has been terrific.
Ryan McCann goes after the first pitch and pops it over the screen. McCann has good numbers against David Price. He's got good numbers for the season. 26 homers and 90 RBIs. This is his 2nd season with the Yankees. Ground ball. Goins is near the bag. He'll flip to Donaldson. That'll end the inning. David Price got that heartbeat up early. Jacoby Ellsbury stays on this pitch out over the plate and rifles it right back to the mound. No problem for David Price. The lineup for John Gibbons' Blue Jays. Top of the order, Ben Revere has been terrific in that leadoff spot. Josh Donaldson going through a little bit of a rough patch lately. Jose Bautista and then Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin, over his last 12 games, has put up gaudy numbers. A .378 average, 6 extra base hits. Edwin has reached base in all 14 games he's played against the Yankees this season. Russell Martin against his former team has enjoyed a lot of success. .318 average this season. 4 homers and 14 RBIs for Russell Martin.
There's been some changes in the New York Yankees starting rotation. This is one of them right here. This is Adam Warren. 40 games this year, 15 starts, 25 relief appearances. He's 6-6 with a .333 earned run average. One of 4 pitchers in the majors to make at least 15 starts and 15 relief appearances this year. In his career versus the Blue Jays, he's pitched well. He's 14 games and 1 start. He's got a .165 ERA against the Jays in his career.
Ben Revere waiting on Orn. Here's his first pitch. It's upstairs for a ball. .303 for the season for Revere. He's at .314 since he's come to the Blue Jays. He takes a lot of pitches. He'll work the pitcher, trying to get a good pitch that he can drive.
Yeah, he's a typical leadoff batter. He's not afraid to hit with 1 strike. So he'll work that pitcher over.
There's a base hit to right. Ben Revere's aboard. Leadoff single for Revere. Let's check out the Yankees defense. Good speed in the outfield. Gardner and Ellsbury in left and center. Carlos Beltran, he too is a former center fielder. Chase Headley, Didi Gregorius on the left side. Ackley and Bird on the right side. And Brian McCann back behind the plate for Adam Warren.
Dustin Ackley's been swinging a very hot bat for the New York Yankees, and they're finding places to put him into the lineup. We've seen him in the outfield. We've seen him at first base. Looks like he might be taking over at second base for the Yankees here the last parts of the season.
Josh Donaldson fouls back the first pitch. Donaldson just 4 for 28 in his last 7 games. He has a home run and 1 RBI. That's been it. A little bit of a rough stretch for Donaldson.
Teams have been throwing him a lot of breaking balls, especially early in the count.
Inside, that hit him. So Donaldson will take first. Revere will go to second, and that'll set the table for Jose Bautista early on.
Trying to brush him back. It looked like it might have clipped his jersey that was hanging out. Yeah, just clipped the buttons right there on his jersey. And the first 2 have reached here.
Well, the Yankees are looking at the video in case they wanted to challenge that. That is a challengeable play. Hit by pitch. So Bautista will step in. Jose has been swinging a hot bat lately. Over his last 15 games, batting .375 with some damage.
You talk about the big players, the star players. They come to the forefront. Jose's right there with them.
Jose's been waiting a long time to play in this type of series, and he's responded accordingly. Bautista has 5 home runs and 15 RBIs in his last 15 games. Hard breaking ball. Bautista's average up over 250 at 251. But all the power numbers are right in line with where he has been throughout his career. Well, Adam Warren and Brian McCann have a little trouble getting on the same page.
You can see that they're going through a whole set of signs with the runner at second base. It's a lot of signs. Normally you'll see 3 or 4 signs put down by that catcher. He's going through a whole set of them. And if you miss one, it could throw off the whole sequence. So you better be sure you guys know what you're talking about. You know what's coming.
Down and away. The Blue Jays lead the season series 11-5. That ties their all-time win total against the Yankees. 11 wins in a single season, the most they've ever had. Of course, they can set a new record in this 3-game series. You saw the signs and how McCann would use an outside indicator and then go to the fingers.
Yeah, he's doing 3 or 4 on the outside indicators, usually the first or the last place you touch. That'll tell you what sign you're going through. Then 6 signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signs. So it takes a little bit longer.
Up the middle, base hit. Revere's around third. He's going to score. Bautista has given the Blue Jays a first-inning lead.
Teams will play Jose Bautista in that shift, or the exaggerated shift, where they take the shortstop and put him over in that hole to cover it up. That time it might have backfired on the Yankees. It looked like the ball was a ground ball, going to be a double play right here, but it ends up the middle. No chance for D.D. Gregorius to get it, and the Blue Jays strike first.
Bautista delivers his 11th RBI against the Yankees. Ben Revere motors around third. It's 1-0 Jays. That gets away from McCann. The runners are going to move up. Adam Warren a little shaky here in the first.
He's got good stuff, but right now he doesn't have a feel for his breaking ball. We've seen a couple in the dirt. Now he's going to bounce this curveball. Watch Encarnacion. Recognize that ball is going to be far enough away, and he's going to tell the runners to go ahead and go.
The Blue Jays, with their run here in the first inning, have scored an even 100 runs in the first inning. The ability to get out to an early lead has been consistent all year long.
It takes a lot of pressure off, I think, of everybody. Don't stop there.
Edwin, over his last 12 games, as we've mentioned, a .378 average. And you go back to July 21st when he started that long hit streak. He's hit 16 home runs.
He is at his best, I think, when he stays in the middle of the field. Teams will pitch him in, but they like to get him out away. And if he stays in the middle of the field, he's got plenty of power. We've seen it, Buck. Him driving balls out of center field or right field.
3-1 to Encarnacion. Smoke is on deck. Still nobody out. Ground ball. Donaldson's coming home. Gregorius was thinking about going home and bobbled the ball, but he is able to throw out Encarnacion. Donaldson scores the second run. Encarnacion picks up the RBI on the ground down.
That would have been very interesting if he picks that ball clean. It looked like he might have had a shot at Josh Donaldson at the plate, but in his haste, Gregorius, the ball rolled up his arm just a little bit. He didn't panic. Watch this ball come up, hit him in the chest. He didn't panic. And he's got plenty of arm to record the out over at first base.
Yeah, he was going to go home with that. You could tell by his body position he was going to make a throw to the plate trying to make a play on Donaldson. That's the first out of the inning. This is Justin Smoke.
How big is that wild pitch now?
Double play ball.
That was a double play ball. Blue Jays can still pick up some runs with a runner in scoring position.
Smoke batting .143 against the Yankees this season. 6 for 42, but he's hit 2 home runs, including his first career grand slam. He's done a good job of cashing in base runners. Whenever they can, they're going to throw Smoke something soft.
Slow curveball or a changeup. That wasn't a fastball count. It's a good pitch by Warren right there. If you're Smoke, put that one in your memory banks and remember how he threw you that slow curveball and a fastball count.
Deep to right. Beltran's over his glove. Bautista's around third. He's going to score. Here's the throw to second. Not in time. Justin Smoke delivers.
Just what the fans ordered right there. Get something early in the first inning. That looked like it might have been another off-speed pitch to Smoke. That time he stayed back on it. Yeah, here's the changeup. 2-1. Remember, he threw him a curveball. Now he throws him the changeup out over the plate. Smoke golfs that ball over the Beltran's head in right field for another run. That's how you stay back on a changeup right there. Let the ball get to you. And he's got plenty of power.
Smoke has been given a steady diet of slow breaking balls and changeups, and that time he hammered it over Beltran's head in right. Larry Rothschild out to help Adam Warren sort things out here. Russell Martin, he leads the Blue Jays with RBIs against the Yankees this season. He's driven in 14. We talk about the big boys stepping up in crunch time. Bautista with an RBI, Encarnacion with an RBI here in the first. The Blue Jays are 43-16. When Bautista drives in one or more, they're 38-18 when Double E does the same.
Some players, they just love the big stage, don't they?
Well, unfortunately for Bautista and Encarnacion, this is the first time they've been able to be on that big stage in September.
How about when they go to New York? I mean, when they go to New York, you know how that place is. Those guys always seem to come up with big series.
Three and one to Russell Martin. Up the middle. Ackley was positioned near the bag. He throws to first. Martin's retired. Well, the Blue Jays, they've got a 2.5 game lead in the AL East, and they were loose before the start of this game. There's the starting pitcher, David Price, out acknowledging the fans. Josh Donaldson, he's loose. I don't care what the situation is. He's always having a good time, and you can see even in the dugout before the game, the players anxious for this 3-game series to start.
Yeah, and the players were talking about that after the Boston series yesterday. They lost 2 out of 3 to that very good Red Sox team. They said, you know what, we're going to just keep doing the same thing that we've been doing. We're a loose bunch. We're a confident bunch. It's the game of baseball, and it's a big series. But this team, when things aren't going well, they have a way of staying together, and it's been fun to watch.
Now you bring in guys that have won in the past, like Martin, Tulowitzki, and Donaldson. They can help calm the situation. Ryan Goins outside. Well, the Blue Jays, if they've done so often in the first inning, have forced Adam Warren's pitch count up to 26. They don't give a starter a chance to get settled in. The first 3 batters reached base, 2 hits and a walk, and they all came in to score. How many times have we seen starters walk off the mound here at Rogers Center after the first inning and say, what happened?
Plenty.
That was quick.
Yeah. You go down into the bullpen and you get ready for the ball game. The next thing you know, you've given up 3 or 4 runs. Blue Jays have to strike before that pitcher finds it.
3-0 to Goins. Ball 4. Ryan Goins is aboard. Pilar will be the 8th Blue Jay to bat in the first. The Yankees did not arrive at their hotel here in Toronto until after 4 in the morning. They played the ESPN Sunday night game at Citi Field in New York. But everybody knows the Yankees are always called upon to play those Sunday night games. Kevin Pilar takes a first pitch strike.
And you know what? This time of the year, it doesn't matter, does it? You could go on 3 hours of sleep, still got to play the game. You should be fired up just for that reason.
Adam Warren and Luis Severino, the 2 starters in the first 2 games, flew up yesterday. There's that little cutter, just a late moving fastball. Yes, it does. That Gold Glove certainly belongs to Kevin Pilar. He's been terrific in the field. 0-2, 2 outs. This is the first start Adam Warren has made against the Blue Jays. He's appeared in 3 games, all as a reliever. He made 14 starts to begin the season. This is his 2nd start since coming back into the rotation. Down and away.
Boy, you couldn't ask for more from the Blue Jays offense here to begin this series, can you? Make that starter throw a lot of pitches in the first inning, get a lead early. I think that was the formula they used when they went to New York in that last series. get a lead early against the Yankees because of that deep bullpen.
The last time David Price started against the Yankees, they scored 5 runs in the first inning. That was in the opener. They had been rained out on Thursday night. It was supposed to be 4 straight single games. But after the rain out Thursday night, the Blue Jay bats came out smoking against Luis Severino and put up a 5 spot in the first. Ball in the dirt. Goins thought about it, but he stays put at first. Ivan Nova on the left, Severino on the right. They will pitch in game 2. It'll be Severino game 3. Nova will take over for Masahiro Tanaka, who was scratched from Wednesday's start. Pilar strikes out, but the Blue Jays jump out on top. They score 3 runs on 3 hits with a couple of walks and take a 3-0 lead for David Price.
Presented by the all-new 2016 Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Blue Jays as they jumped on Adam Ward for a 3 spot at the bottom of the first. David Price allowed a base hit in the first to Alex Rodriguez, a broken bat single with 2 outs. That's it. Carlos Beltran goes after the first pitch and hits a mile-high fly ball. 1 out. Let's check in with our Barry Davis.
Thanks, Buck. We've been talking all year about how we've got fans of the Blue Jays from coast to coast, and today we're joined by a guy who was born in Banff, lives in Edmonton, Alberta. You know him as former Edmonton Oiler Ryan Smith. Ryan, talk to me about what Blue Jay fever is like out in Alberta right now.
Oh, it's been the buzz is going great, which is awesome for not only Canada itself, but even Western Canada. I know Ontario's got the great buzz of it all, and it's nice to be here in the stadium and seeing this happen. But there's a great buzz, and it's a good feeling.
You were telling me you're a huge Troy Tulowitzki fan. What was your reaction when the Blue Jays made that deal?
I was just jacked. Obviously, Derek Jeter was my favorite, but Tulowitzki is when he was in Colorado. I met him in Colorado when I played there, and he's an awesome ball player. He's probably next to Jeter, he's the best. And
I guess one of the nice things about being retired right now is normally you'd be gearing up for training camp. Now you get to sit and enjoy a pennant race as a fan.
I think the Battle of Alberta is going on right now, both in Calgary and Edmonton. So, yeah, I get to enjoy it as a fan. I'm here with my dad, and I'm really enjoying this opportunity to do things that I don't get to do very often.
Well, listen, enjoy the game. Thanks for doing this tonight.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, Buck, there's Ryan Smith, former Edmonton Oiler.
Thank you very much, Barry. And I think that's really cool. He's got his dad here. They're enjoying great pennant race baseball. And you're right. And you and I both went through that. There are a lot of things you don't get to do during your playing days that you enjoy doing when you retire.
Like take a family vacation? What was that?
That was a road trip, wasn't it? 1-2 to Chase Headley, the third baseman. Price strikes him out. Good fastball. Strikeout number 1 for David Price.
It's the 5th time that Price is facing the Yankees this season. He did one time with the Tigers. This is his 4th as a Blue Jay. He's doing the right thing. I think what you have to do, you got to pound them early strikes. They like to work the count. The last time he pitched against them, if you remember that game back at Yankee Stadium, he only threw 5 innings against the Yankees.
We mentioned the Blue Jays got out in front 5-0 before Price took the mound. It was an abbreviated starting through 96 pitches, but had 7 strikeouts and left with the lead. This is Greg Bird. He is behind quickly, 0-2. Greg Bird, just 22 years old. He came up middle of August to take over at first for the injured Mark Teixeira. Bouncing ball. Price will go to the bag. Smoke flips it to him. Another good inning for David Price. 3 up, 3 down. The Yankees go quietly in the top of the 2nd. With more on Warren, let's check in with our Hazel May.
Back to Blue Jays fans, Adam Warren may not be a household name in that Yankees rotation, but he has been such a big contributor to the team. Because of injuries to starters, as Pat mentioned earlier, Warren has bounced back and forth from the rotation to the bullpen, where he has been terrific in relief. Broadcaster Ken Singleton told me that the Yankees are more than comfortable putting Warren in big spots like the one tonight. Because of the 15 starts he has made, the Yankees have won 9 of those games. Now, I asked pitching coach Larry Rothschild whether Warren is on some type of pitch count, considering he hasn't been stretched out. I suggested 75, maybe 80 pitches. Rothschild said, well, he definitely won't go 9, but at this time of the year, it is more about effort for him and managing innings. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. That's a great point. It's about effort. It's not about a raw number. It's about how he looks on the mound, whether or not he can keep this Blue Jays team quiet.
Whatever happened to, hey, how you feeling?
Yeah.
Right?
Got any left?
Yeah. Whatever happened to that? They used to go to catchers also and ask the catcher.
All the time. How's his stuff? Not so good.
Okay, then I'll make a decision. Warren, last time out, he pitched just 4 innings at Tampa Bay when he got that spot start and threw 65 pitches in those 4 innings. He is back at it this inning with 37.
Cliff Pennington behind 0-2, and he pops this one in the air to left. Brett Gardner backpedaling in front of the warning track, makes the catch. You know, talking about Warren, many people that have been around the Yankees for a long time kind of characterize Warren like Ramiro Mendoza, a guy that could swing back and forth and really give you a spot start and then work for 2 weeks out of the pen and then make another spot start. They're really a valuable type of pitcher.
Very valuable. And, you know, for all the great teams that the Yankees had back there in the 90s, if you remember those great teams, I think they won 5 championships. The underrated part of that team was their bullpen. They had a really good bullpen, especially in the playoffs.
They had a good bullpen beyond their great closer, of course, Mariano Rivera, but they had Jeff Nelson, Mike Stanton, Ramiro Mendoza. They had a lot of good arms that would set him up.
Veteran guys that would set him up.
Man, Josh Donaldson just barely avoided being hit by that foul ball. He said, well, hit it that way, would you? Wow. You stand on deck and you're really relaxed, not worried about a foul ball, and then it shoots right back over Donaldson's head.
Well, you better pay attention, huh, when you're on deck. Never take your eyes off the playing field.
Watch Donaldson on the left side of your screen. Look out, Josh. I mean, right over his head. Blue Jays have had a couple of close calls tonight. This is looped down the left field line. That's going to drop in foul ground. David Price snared a line drive. It was up around his head. He made a terrific grab off the bat of Jacoby Ellsbury. That was the first batter of this game.
A couple of near misses here in 2 innings. He's got to get right back on it against Adam Warren. Don't let him get comfortable.
There's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Warren. He gets Ben Revere there. 2 down. Josh Donaldson has had a terrific first season with the Blue Jays. He's 3rd in the American League with 39 home runs, tied with Mike Trout. And all the other offensive numbers, he's right there at the top of the leaderboard.
Runs scored, RBIs, home runs, extra base hits, a little bit of everything. The batting average just dipped under 300. This little dry spell that Josh has been going through, but everything else has been right up there. You know, it was interesting. Remember the conversation we had in spring training? Hey, now that Josh Donaldson has gotten out of Oakland, how many home runs do you think he can hit? We were guessing maybe 30 would be a good number.
He's 1 away from 40. He hit 29 in Oakland, and it's a very difficult ballpark to hit home runs in. Plus, the foul ground really takes a lot of at-bats away from you because there's so much room. Those foul balls don't go into the seats like they do here at Rogers Center.
And the ball today was flying in batting practice.
You know, you'd like to think that players aren't aware of numbers, but everybody's aware of numbers. He's got 39 home runs. That 40 home run plateau is right there. And you know he wants to reach it.
But you know what else he knows? He knows that he's not going to go up there trying to hit home run. Home runs are the results of good at-bats and good fundamentals at the plate. When you put a good swing on a ball, it'll go.
Bounced into dirt. Donaldson was hit by a pitch and reached base in the first. Bautista had an RBI single in the first. He would be next. If Donaldson can reach, it's a full count. Took something off that pitch. The Blue Jays had an unusual game yesterday in that they struck out 12 times but didn't walk. They've always been able to get those base on balls, and that's been able to contribute to their offense. But yesterday, 9 innings without a walk. That's a fair ball, just inside the bag. High throw over Bird's head. Headley has committed 21 errors. That will be 22 on the high throw. He had plenty of time. He just airmailed it over Big Greg Bird at first.
And a lot of them, and I mean a lot of them, have been throwing errors. This is going to be 22 now. Plenty of time, does everything correctly. The ball just sails on him. over the head of Bird and into the stands. So Donaldson's going to end up at second base.
Donaldson's credited with an infield hit. He goes to second on the throwing there. That's a bit of a surprise. It looked like kind of a routine play for a third baseman. Bautista with another chance to drive in a run. Warren has allowed 3 runs on 4 hits. He's hit a batter and walked a batter.
Starting to incorporate that changeup just a little bit more. Jose looks determined, doesn't he? He's been swinging a hot bat, as you can tell by those stats right there. 27 walks in his last 28 games.
That's why the batting average has been able to climb. He's really zeroing in on that baseball, not chasing bad pitches. And boy, he's been doing some damage.
36 homers, 105 RBIs, but he's got more walks than strikeouts this season.
Bautista, for the 4th time, has driven in 100, scored 100, and had 100 walks. Since 2010, there have only been 2 other players that have accomplished those numbers in one season. He's done it 4 times. It is so challenging for pitchers to work to this lineup. In your mind, you're thinking, I got to make perfect pitches to get these guys out, and it's hard to be perfect.
Stressful pitches, too, I would imagine. Because, you know, if you make one mistake, they're liable to leave the ballpark. Another changeup. Jose was a bit out in front on that one.
Bautista, with his single in the first, has hit in 11 straight games against the Yankees. Broken bat, dribbler to Headley. He threw one away, not this time. Bautista is out. The Blue Jays leave a base runner. We'll go to the 3rd, 3-0.
Presented by the all-new 2016 Honda Pilot. proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Another good crowd on hand as the Blue Jays have sold out 15 of their last 16 games, and some big Blue Jays are in the house tonight with ugly noses. D.D. Gregorius jumps back from an inside heater. Joe Girardi stacked his lineups with left-handed hitters tonight.
And I'm surprised about that. Why he would put so many left-handed batters against David Price, knowing that Price is giving up a 220 average against lefties. You've got Ryan on the bench. You've got Chris Young, a right-handed batter. He is on the bench. But Joe has his reasons.
Weak ground ball to Pennington. David Price, since coming to the Jays, has made 3 starts against the Yankees. We talked about it in the open, how they looked at the schedule and said, okay, this is how we're going to best utilize David Price in our rotation.
And they had 6 off days to play with to jig the starting rotation so Price would start against the Yankees. He's made 3 starts. He had a lead in one of those games and got a no decision after a late home run, but he's 2-0 with a 233 earned run average, 19.1 innings pitched. He's only given up 5 runs, and more importantly, he hasn't given up a home run to the Yankees.
This is Dustin Ackley. He was picked up at the trade deadline in July. I spoke to Brian Cashman before the game, the general manager of the New York Yankees, and I said, what was it about Dustin Ackley that you guys like? He said he's a left-handed fly ball hitter, and that plays well in Yankee Stadium, of course.
Boy, does it ever. He's already hit a home run against the Blue Jays at Yankee Stadium. You know what else he can do? He can play multiple positions. We have seen him make a start against the Jays at first base. He's at second base tonight. Can also play the outfield.
Ground ball, Pennington to his right, unloads in a hurry, offline. Pennington had a little more time than he thought. He rushed that throw a bit, and it was wide of first.
Yeah, had a trouble throwing yesterday. They had a double play ball that they didn't turn on a wide throw. There was also a ball where he went to his right and made a throw that was just offline. This is a play that he should be making right here. He just yanks Justin Smoke off the bag.
It's the first error that Pennington has committed since coming to the Jays. Smoke does the right thing and leaves the base to flag down that errant throw. Back to the top of the order, Ellsbury hit a line drive back to the mound that Price gloved. 1 out.
You know, for Cliff Pennington, his natural position is shortstop. And you say, well, if you can play shortstop, you should be able to play second base. But look, the plays that he has had problems is when he's going away from first base. That was a perfect example of it, where he had to plant that right foot and throw with his arm.
There's a base hit over Goins. That's going to go into center field. So Ackley moves to second. Ellsbury has hit the ball sharply twice tonight.
Boy, he looks a little bit more comfortable than the last time we saw him. Really struggled in that series back at Yankee Stadium. Already tonight he had that line drive right back at David Price for an out. This time stays inside the ball that time.
For Ellsbury, who just gets it over the glove of Ryan Goins into center field, he extends his personal hit streak against the Jays to 11 straight. So this is the combination that has given the Blue Jays trouble over the years. Ellsbury and Gardner, top of the order. The last 2 years, they've been a wicked combination, 1-2.
Boy, they get on base, they can run. They just cause a lot of havoc. And what they do is they have great at bats, especially this guy right here. He always sees a lot of pitches.
Off the plate inside. Dustin Ackley reached on the air by Pennington. He's at second base. Ellsbury is at first. Came right back inside. This time they catch the corner. Another pitch inside.
Staying inside against him. He's tough to double up, too. That's another thing that Gardner has going for him. Even if he hits a ground ball at one of the middle infielders, he can run so fast. It's still going to be tough to double him up.
That's going to reach the seats out of play. Brett Gardner has grounded into just 7 double plays all season long. This is his 138th game. He gets a running start batting out of that left-handed hitter's batter's box.
Yeah, and you can see, you're right. It's almost like he's leaning towards first base on his swing. You think you can get him down and away with a pitch? He just has that ability to just to slap the ball the other way.
Took a shot down and away. Alex Rodriguez had a broken bat single in the first. 3-0 Blue Jays. They scored 3 runs in the first. Quite a battle putting up by Gardner here. You're right. He's a tough out. He's a guy that'll just battle you. Cuts his swing down, protects that plate.
Nothing new right here. This will be the 7th pitch of this at bat. He and Russell Martin are the same type of hitters where they really have a lot of long at bats. They get the strike zone. They understand it. If you're going to get him out, you got to make a pitch.
He just missed down and away. That'll load the bases for Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez has been around a long time. He's hit a lot with the bases loaded. He's got 25 career grand slams.
That is a big league record right there. He's got a lot of records. That might be the most impressive right there. 25 grand slams in his career.
Price gets in on his hands. They stayed inside on Rodriguez the first time up, and he fought it off and got a broken bat single up the middle.
His cutter's got a lot of movement on it tonight. That time it was 96. And he's got good stuff. He's going to have to make a pitch. Something off speed might get the ball on the ground. That's what the Blue Jays are looking for right here.
Staying inside.
Rodriguez hit a home run against the Blue Jays at Yankee Stadium to right field. They tried to throw a pitch away, and he just flicked his bat at the ball and got it in the air and got it into the first row.
It's interesting. You think, okay, well, Price might go away. It's a matter of who's going to blink first. You got to stay inside to Rodriguez, and you've got another dangerous hitter on deck in Brian McCann. Do you think they can stay inside in this situation?
I think they can. Or, you know, we've seen David Price throw a backdoor cutter where those righties give up on it.
He wanted that inside and missed away, and Rodriguez got a piece of it. So now Rodriguez doesn't know
if that was intention or not. He thought maybe that might have been on purpose, that he was trying to throw it outside.
Dustin Ackley reached on the air with one out. Ellsbury singled to center, and Gardner walked to load the bases. Alex Rodriguez 1 for 1 so far tonight.
I'll tell you what, Alex Rodriguez looks comfortable at the plate. He didn't look this comfortable when the Blue Jays played the Yankees at Yankee Stadium last road trip.
He didn't play in the Mets series. He pinch hit 3 times. Full count, 1 out. Staying on that pitch away. You see, number 7 was on the outer third of the plate. You're right. Rodriguez looks confident.
He looks confident. He looks comfortable. He's not over swinging. Whenever he stares out at the pitcher, I've noticed he's got a game plan like that. I mean, he is locked in on David Price right now.
This is a little looper. Bautista's got a long run. That's a foul ball. Just barely foul. Another pitch inside. That was going to score 2, maybe 3, had it been fair. So Martin and Price going to go back to the drawing board.
And the Yankees are going to go to the video to take a look at this one to see if it was fair or foul. It looked from here that it was foul. And you can see right there, there's a little space between the ball and the foul line.
Look where Justin Smoak is. He gets right in the path of the umpire. Chad Fairchild trying to get a good shot at that. Smoak's right between the umpire and the ball. But the Yankees looked at it and decided not to challenge. Another 3-2 pitch. Got it. Backdoor breaking ball. He went with the cutter away.
Got to come up big in big situations, and David Price did. Everything was on the inner half, or they tried to go inner half. That hole at bat, look where Russell Martin is set up, outside. Backdoor cutter.
You see his body didn't stay on that pitch. He was anticipating something inside of him. 2 outs, Brian McCann. Quickly ahead. Off-speed pitch pulled foul. Dustin Ackley is halfway between third and home when that pitch is thrown, but there's 2 strikes. McCann has to protect the plate.
Somebody better be able to yell. Here comes Donaldson. He's recognizing it now. Hackley is just walking off of third base. David Price's back is to him. So there's got to be some communication.
Fly ball to center. Pilar shuffles back. Price leaves the bases loaded, and he wants to talk to the umpire. He comes in to talk to Greg Gibson. Satisfied with the result.
Smith, that's his dad, Jim, on the left. And if you recognize the guy on the right, that is former Argos coach Jim Barker. And speaking of hockey, hockey's brightest stars shine as North Sandwich, BC hosts Craft Hockeyville 2015. It's the Sharks and Canucks tonight, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific on Sportsnet. But the NHL preseason is underway tonight.
Sure is, and everybody's anticipating another great season of NHL hockey, and all these people right here are thinking about postseason baseball. After this game tonight, 12 games remaining on the schedule. Hard to fathom that we have gotten to that point of the season. Edwin Encarnacion picked up an RBI in his first at bat, grounded out to the shortstop Didi Gregorius.
Well, that was an interesting inning. Half inning, wasn't it?
Sure was. The air certainly creating problems for the Blue Jays.
29 pitch inning for David Price.
Ripped off the glove of Chase Headley. He got a glove on it, but it was hit so hard it bounces right into left field. Leadoff single for Encarnacion.
Chase Headley won a Gold Glove when he was with the San Diego Padres a couple of years ago. He's a good third baseman, but he's not going to come up with this one. You can see he was leaning towards the line. He probably got the sign that it was a breaking ball from the shortstop, so he started leaning towards the line. Then Encarnacion crossed him up and hit the ball to his left into the outfield for a hit.
If they got a glove on it, might have drug him into left. Leadoff single. This is Justin Smoke. He had an RBI double in the first. He drove in the third Blue Jays run in their first inning. Smoke has put up big numbers. 16 home runs, 52 RBIs. What a season he has had as a part-time player.
And he's done that all in 263 at-bats this year. He's not going to hit for a high average, just 228. But you're looking for some production, and he certainly has given the Blue Jays that.
The Blue Jays at first base have gotten 36 home runs and 101 RBIs. Encarnacion, Colabello, Smoke doing the majority of that.
Cutter right there, just a little bit too long of a swing there. Yeah, you want power on the corners, don't you? Power in the outfield, right and left field, third base and first base, and the Jays have gotten that.
A ball and 2 strikes to the Blue Jays first baseman, Justin Smoke. Breaking ball off the plate. Got on and missed. Third strikeout for Adam Warren.
Another breaking ball from Warren. Got Revere on a breaking ball, Pilar on a breaking ball. That time he got that breaking ball just under the bat of Smoke. He might be getting close to his pitch limit, Adam Warren. He is up to 65. That's what he threw in 4 innings in his last start.
Now, we heard Hazel May in their discussion about Warren and whether or not there was a hard and fast pitch count. You see James Pazos, the left-hander, one of 5 left-handers they have in their bullpen. But I think they're going to go more by how the hitters are reacting to Warren than a hard and fast number. So Martin didn't think so. Quick turnaround to ask Greg Gibson about that. 0-2 to the Blue Jays catcher. We got 2 of the best offensive catchers in baseball in this ball game. Russell Martin and Brian McCann.
Winners. I wonder how many playoff appearances between them that they have had also. I know Russell's been, what, 7 times? And McCann, of course, was the catcher on those great Atlanta Braves teams. Seemed to go to the playoffs year after year after year.
McCann is in his 2nd season with the Yankees after signing as a free agent. Russell Martin in his 1st with the Blue Jays. The contracts were very similar as well, over $80 million contracts for both the catchers. Martin strikes out. Warren has settled down after a shaky first inning.
He's starting to use his changeup a little bit more. That looked like the changeup one more time to Russell Martin. And watch this one just drop right underneath the bat. Everybody knows the Blue Jays can turn anybody's fastball around. They like the hard stuff. Looks like Warren is trying to go softer and softer.
Ryan Goins drew a walk in the first inning. Goins now has 37 walks. He's done a very good job of improving that aspect of his game. Much more patient, much more selective. There's another good example of taking a close pitch. You know, young players come to the big leagues, they want to prove how well they can hit. So they want to hit everything. They swing at a lot of borderline pitches and create problems for themselves.
They think they're going to get a lot of fastballs, and Ryan's not getting a lot of fastballs now. Last year, he swings at that last pitch. That was a 1-0 changeup.
Had a pretty good cut and had a good pitch to hit.
Pitch recognition, understanding what the pitchers are trying to do to you. That's all part of becoming a mature hitter.
Blue Jays have had a lot of success with their two new hitting coaches, Rick Jacoby and Eric Owens. Owens has to be thinking it didn't have to be a strike.
Russell Martin has taken note of some of these borderline pitches right here, so he's going to want the same pitches when he's back behind the plate catching David Price.
Full count, 2 outs. Encarnacion at first base will be off on the pitch. Greg Bird, the first baseman, is backed up behind him. You saw Kevin Pillar on deck. There goes Encarnacion. The ball is fouled into the seats. The Blue Jays, and we have seen them do this from time to time. Now, scored 1 run and then can't get anything going again to add to their lead.
Score in 1 inning. They did it yesterday, and it cost them. They only scored in the 2nd inning, and that was it. And they gave them time for the opposition, the Red Sox, to come back and beat them by a run. You're right. Add on runs, keeping the pressure on. Blue Jays need to do it.
Right back to the mound. Ward makes a nice play. Quick throw to first. The inning is over. Leadoff single, and the Blue Jays can't do anything with it. We'll go to the 4th. The Jays have a 3-0 lead over the Yankees.
Deck, and a reminder that the home run contest is now on. If a Blue Jays player hits a homer into the flight deck, your name could be drawn to win 25,000 WestJet dollars. For full contest rules and entry form, visit bluejays.com/WestJet contest. Buck?
Thank you very much. And the WestJet flight deck is jam-packed. They got an early liftoff here as they opened up about 5:30, and everybody was streaming to the edge. Carlos Beltran takes a first pitch strike from David Price. Drives this ball to right. Bautista is there, almost in his tracks. Beltran has lined out twice to Bautista in right. David Price needs a quick inning. Through 29 pitches last inning in the 3rd.
Knowing the Yankees, they're not going to oblige. They're going to go out there. They had an interesting game yesterday, didn't they? Last night in New York against the Mets.
Matt Harvey was shutting them down. There's a first pitch pop up. Bautista with a long run. He'll get there in fair territory. David Price, 2 pitches, 2 outs.
This next pitch should be right down the middle. They were getting shut down by Matt Harvey in last night's game against the Mets.
Losing 1-0, and then they took Harvey out of the game because all the talk about pitch counts and ceilings and coming back from Tommy John. They say, well, we want to stay close to 180 innings, and there's been a lot of controversy. Scott Boras brought up that fact, and they suggested that the team of doctors that worked on Matt Harvey gave them a hard number at 180. The Yankees were thrilled about that.
They were very thrilled about that because they scored 11 runs in the next 4 innings against the bullpen of the Mets. Pretty much handed the Yankees that win.
This is Greg Bird, first baseman. The breaking ball missed inside. He tried to come into the inside with that breaking ball.
And I'm sure Russell Martin's having a word with the umpire saying, I thought that was a strike.
Pulled foul on the changeup. No conversation going on. You sure? You think it was a good pitch? Oh, I do. I really do, Greg. I wouldn't pull your leg.
I know when I was hitting in the same pitch, it was called a strike.
You got to sweet talk those umpires. So, man, you're really a good umpire, and I know you thought that was a pretty good pitch, but I just really thought it wasn't. And you go back and forth and have a 9-inning conversation with the umpire to get your pitcher in the best situation possible.
Meanwhile, that hitter is up there saying, would you two please be quiet? I'm trying to hit.
Greg Bird is 22 years old. He's from Aurora, Colorado. He was drafted by the Yankees. Price strikes him out. David Price needed a quick inning. He retires the side in order on just 9 pitches.
Last couple of weeks, and I'm happy to report the Blue Jays postseason single game tickets go on sale this Thursday, September 24th at 10 a.m. Fans can purchase tickets to the wild card and or divisional series. Go to BlueJays.com or call 416-341-1234. Limited inventory is available. Bucket, it's been a long time since we've been able to say that in mid-September.
Well, that's for sure, Barry. And Blue Jay fans will want to make sure they get online and get after it very quickly. Here's Kevin Pillar, who takes one upstairs for a ball. Adam Warren has slowed things down a bit, but they're still concerned about his pitch count. They have double barrel action in their bullpen now.
You know what the Blue Jays have to do? They got to play for 1 run, I think, right now. Get that first guy on. That's Chris Martin and Pazos, who we saw earlier. Get that guy on. Maybe you bunt him over. Maybe you start to hit and run, or maybe you try to do something just to score 1 more run, get that momentum back over on the Blue Jays side. We saw this yesterday when they scored in just 1 inning and then were shut down the rest of the way.
The Yankees are right there with the Blue Jays as far as the ability to score runs. They've got some pop in their lineup. Pillar stays alive. Kevin Pillar has enjoyed a fine first full season in the big leagues. He's got 25 doubles, 2 triples, 10 home runs, and 20 stolen bases to go along with outstanding defense in the field. Chases one up and away for a strikeout. That's 5 strikeouts for Warren.
The all-new 2016 Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Adam Warren strikes out Kevin Pillar, and that'll be the last batter he faces here. He leaves with 1 out in the 4th. James Pazos, one of 5 left-handers in the Yankee pen, on to face Cliff Pennington when we come back.
It may be a cool night at the Rogers Center, but enjoying those big comfy green chairs, as always, in the TD Comfort Zone, our guests of TD. Buck?
Great night for a ball game, and why not enjoy those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone. That is Adam Warren debriefing with the pitching coach, Larry Rothschild, one of the best in the business. New pitcher is James Pazos.
Blue Jays saw him back in that 4-game series back at Yankee Stadium. There are his numbers: 7 games, just 3 1/3 inning, an inning and a third against the Blue Jays in 2 appearances. Throws hard, left-hander, fastball, breaking ball combination.
The Blue Jays won 3 of the 4 games in New York, and they really didn't have to deal with Wilson, Betances, or Andrew Miller.
That's right. You get the lead, and it's tough to bring those guys in. That's why it's important to get leads early, play for runs early in the ball game.
But Pennington lifts a pop-up. Buried in foul ground. The first baseman makes the catch. 2 down. The Blue Jays had leads in all those games, and it just negated the impact of those tough pitchers at the end of their bullpen. Justin Wilson has been great for them. And, of course, Betances and Miller, two of the best in the business.
Well, he's got a lot of arms to play with down there. Does Joe Girardi. You mentioned the 5 left-handers. They also have 8 right-handers. And this is the kind of game I think Joe Girardi, he's going to mix and match, I think, for the rest of the game.
2 outs, Ben Revere. Revere singled to start the game. He scored the first run of the ball game on a Jose Bautista RBI single. Headley, the third baseman, takes his time, throws a strike. Pazos comes in and gets the 2 men he faced. We'll go to the 5th. The Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.
MLB.tv. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on more than 400 devices with MLB.tv Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Every night on every device. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. And that pitch tracking widget they have, Buck, it really shows an inconsistent strike zone at times tonight.
No way, Barry. Come on.
I kid you not.
It's a major league umpire. Maybe just a little bit, eh? Didi Gregorius, the shortstop, grounded out to second his first time up. And Price pours that fastball in there. David Price is one of the best at throwing the fastball in the strike zone. He is not afraid to use that heater.
I think he knows that the Yankees like to take a lot of pitches, work the count. I think you have to throw fastballs for strikes early in the count against him.
When you look at David Price's record for the season, this is his 5th start against the Yankees. He's 2-1 with a .540 earned run average. And you say, what's wrong with that picture? Well, his first start against the Yankees this season didn't go so well. 2 1/3, 8 runs on 10 hits, but it was in Detroit. It was 38 degrees and snowing. And he lost that game 13-4. But it was a miserable game. And it was the most earned runs that he has allowed in his career. 3rd time he had done that. And 2nd time he had allowed 8 earned runs to the Yankees.
I remember watching that game and I couldn't believe it. Was that the game where they had like 7 or 8 straight hits against him to start the
just
game?
Little bloopers and flares, and it was snowing.
He had a great line then when they were talking about him when he was getting ready to make his first start against the Yankees as a Blue Jay. He said they had something like 7, 8, 9 straight hits. He goes, they won't get 7 or 8 straight hits in batting practice today against a BP pitcher, but here I am trying to get him out, and everything was finding a hole that day.
Well, David Price set a record in his first start. On the 3rd of August, he started the day game against Minnesota, recorded 11 strikeouts in his Blue Jays debut. That's a club record for strikeouts in a debut. Blue Jays pitcher. Didi Gregorius is putting up a fight.
This is start number 10 as a Blue Jay. In his previous 9, he's 7-1. His only loss is to Cleveland. That was a 4-2 game to the Indians earlier this month. An outstanding ERA, 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. What he's done is he's pitched deep into the ball game, and he's given the Blue Jays chances to win every time he has taken them out.
He went around. There's a strikeout. Gregorius chases that high hitter. 4 strikeouts for Price.
Ideally, you'd like to get it done in a little bit quicker fashion. It was an 8-pitch at bat. Gregorius kept fouling pitches off, and now he elevates this cutter. And he can't hold up. He goes around. That's 4 strikeouts now for Price.
1 out. Dustin Ackley reached on the air by Cliff Pennington in the 3rd innings. Ball in the strike. Ackley was the 2nd overall pick in the draft when he was selected by Seattle in 2009 at the University of North Carolina. Steven Strasburg was taken first. So Ackley, a highly regarded hitter coming out of college. He had just finished up playing in the College World Series, and he tore it up.
They went to Seattle, and they played him for a while, and then he didn't play anymore. You see Price starting to do some gardening around the mound. And then he lost his job in Seattle.
And he became a role player, and the Yankees acquired him at the trade deadline. David Price allowed a broken bat single to Alex Rodriguez in the 1st, a line drive single to Jacoby Ellsbury in the 3rd. The only 2 hits for New York. Foul ball just outside of 1st. Dustin Ackley got here to New York, sat down with Carlos Beltran when neither one of them was playing in a game, and said that conversation with Beltran, he learned more in 2 hours than his first several years in professional ball. They've got some great veterans on this team. Beltran, Rodriguez, McCann, Teixeira, who is currently injured. And Ackley has really enjoyed his time with the Yankees.
And he comes into this game pretty hot. Hit a big home run yesterday in that game in New York against the Mets. He is from North Carolina. I think Adam Warren is from North Carolina. They were Tar Heels, and I think he hit that home run. I was reading a story today about his father who came up to watch him play, and his college coach.
Pulled on the ground. Smoke will go to the bag. He beats his former teammate to first. Couple of Mariners.
The all-new 2016 Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
David Price is not too pleased with the dirt in front of the pitching rubber. Second time this inning we've seen him fill in that depression in front of that pitching rubber. Jacoby Ellsbury, 1-4-2. Ellsbury has hit the ball hard against Price in his first 3 at-bats tonight. Hit that ball hard, but just foul down the right side.
You might see him take a little something off now because he does look comfortable. You're right. Solid single last time on a pitch out in front of the plate. Maybe change speeds on it.
This is popped up near second. Bennington gives way to Goins. Price is through 5 innings. David Price having a great game, and that's what they got him for. You bring in an ace to pitch games like this with the pennant at stake. David Price dealing against the Yankees.
Your team on any screen from anywhere. Subscribe to the 2015-16 season before October 6th to get the early bird rate of $179.99. To get started at Rogers.com/NHL. And Buck, what a great way to watch the Blue Jays in the postseason and then have your tablet or device and watch a little NHL on the side.
There are so many Blue Jay fans that are anticipating some great postseason baseball this season. Caleb Cotham makes his 8th appearance of the season, and he's on after Pazos retired the 2 batters he faced.
Get the right-handers versus the middle of the lineup for the Blue Jays. 7 games this season for Cotham. He's been one of those guys up and down this year. This is his 4th stint for the Yankees.
Chances are David Price knows Caleb Cotham. He is a Vanderbilt alum, drafted by the Yankees out of Vanderbilt in 2009. That's where Price pitched, of course. Donaldson behind 0-2. Vanderbilt's done a terrific job developing pitchers. Jim Corbin is the coach there. He started in 2003, and they've had a lot of first-round picks. They've had 9 first-round pitchers. 9 first-round picks. 7 pitchers were drafted in the first round.
Yeah, it's amazing what they have done. Kids go there, they mature, they develop, they learn how to pitch. They pitch in the College World Series, it seems like every year. And then we see them in the big leagues. And it doesn't take them long to get here, does it, after they're drafted?
David Price was drafted in 2007. He was pitching in the big leagues in 2008. Donaldson fouls it right at home plate. Some of the other first-round pitchers that have made it to the big leagues. Jeremy Sowers was a first-round pick in 07 out of Vanderbilt. Sowers was 04. Price and Casey Weathers in 07. Mike Minor of the Braves in 08. Sonny Gray in 11. Grayson Gavin by Tampa Bay in 11 as well. And Tyler Beatty was drafted by the Giants in 2013, first round. Donaldson having trouble with that breaking ball down and away.
That's all he's seeing right now. And they're in a good spot. Lots of breaking balls. Good fastball. That slider is 86 or 87 miles an hour.
Cotton pitched just a third of an inning on Saturday in that 5-0 win. It was interesting. They used 7 pitchers in that 5-0 shutout. Donaldson called out on strikes. Jose Bautista 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI and a run scored. That continues his great run in September.
Yeah, how about the run that he is on in September? He's got an on-base percentage of .450 built on a lot of walks and base hits. His on-base plus slugging up over 1.079. That's the one that impresses me right there. The average versus the fastball. He's hitting almost 380. He's not getting tired. He's still turning around that fastball.
Well, a pennant race will energize you. There's no question about that. Line drive to left. Gardner is there, makes a chest-high catch. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Houston is a game and a half behind the Texas Rangers in the AL West. They have a 2.5 game cushion over the Angels and the Twins for that second wild card spot behind the Yankees. Going to be a lot of nail biting in the next 2 weeks as these teams try to battle for those postseason berths.
Well, they get another shot at the Rangers after this Angels series. Houston, they have an off day on Thursday, then a big 3-game set with the Rangers.
That's a foul ball. That will be one of 2 off days Houston has down the stretch. They have the 24th off, and they also have October 1st off. And Houston has an unusual assignment. Their final series of the season will be interleague play at Arizona. That can be dangerous.
And before that, they have to go to Seattle and face the Mariners in 3 games.
Tough way to wrap up your season. Little squibber up the first base line. That's going to go into foul territory. Well, the Blue Jays, you think back to the trade deadline, the Yankees had a 7-game lead over Baltimore on July 28th, 7.5 over Tampa Bay, and the Blue Jays weren't even a factor. Now, the Blue Jays are on top of the East, and the Yankees are fighting to get back in the lead.
2.5 games back. Yankees don't have an off day the rest of the year. That's why that half game is there.
That will be eliminated when the Blue Jays have their off day on Thursday. The Yankees, after this series, will play a 4-game set against the White Sox and then 4 more against the Red Sox at home. And Joe Girardi was acknowledging the great young Red Sox team. He said, man, they came in here and played well. And we got to play them 4 straight.
Well, at least they get them in their own backyard. For the Blue Jays, I think this is the series that everybody circled on their calendar after they started making that move in August, that it would come back to this series right here. This is the Blue Jays' last chance to go head-to-head against their top competitor in this division.
Swinging a drive deep to left field. Ellsbury on the run at the track and makes the grab. Encarnacion is retired. Gotham comes out of the pen to set down the side in order. We'll go to the 6th, and here comes the Home Hardware cleanup crew. Brought to you by Natura, Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products.
Season schedule, and they host the Rays at 1:07. If you have tickets, get here early because the first 20,000 fans will receive one of these great hoodies. It is Blue Jays Hoodie Giveaway Day presented by Allstate. Buck, a cool evening here tonight at Rogers Center. A lot of people wearing their hoodies here this evening.
You know what? It's a special time of the year when it's cool in late September. Everybody thinks about the postseason. And there will be some hoodies out in October if the Blue Jays can make it to the postseason.
It's got the feel in the air, doesn't it? Playoff type of atmosphere.
And it doesn't hurt that the Yankees are in town. The Blue Jays haven't been to the postseason since '93. Since that time, the Yankees have been to the postseason 17 times and won 5 World Series. But they haven't been there for a while. They've missed the last 2 years postseason. Smoke knocks it down, gets to his feet, and he'll beat Gardner to the bag. That's the value of that big first baseman. Justin Smoke took an extra base hit away from Brett Gardner.
You want a guy with some reach, and Justin Smoke's got some reach, looking to lay out, knocks it down, and he's not even going to mess with trying to flip the ball over to David Price. He's going to take it all by himself, knocks it down, bare hands the ball, and finishes the out. You can see how close Gardner was. That was a very close play.
Alex Rodriguez, the Yankee DH. Price has pitched him tough, starts him out with a changeup. This is the 11th year for Rodriguez in New York.
11th year with the Yankees. Wow.
Came up to Seattle as a rookie, made his debut July 8th, 1994. 18 years old. He batted 9th at Fenway Park against the Red Sox and went 0 for 3 against Chris Nabholz.
I remember that name. The lefty. Swings through that one. He homered this season as a 40-year-old, so now he joins, I think, my favorite trivia question now. 4 players have hit a home run as a teenager and a 40-year-old. He's one of them. The other is Gary Sheffield, Ty Cobb, and Rusty Staub, LeBron Orange.
Alex Rodriguez against David Price hasn't had a lot of success when you consider his career numbers. 241 average, just 1 home run. So Price has had the upper hand in this head-to-head matchup. Ks for David Price. Rodriguez twice.
Well, that's a lonely feeling, isn't it, when you got to walk back to the bench and the fans are all over you after striking out?
Price is zeroed in now, isn't he?
Got the change-up working. He's got that cutter working. He's got to finish this one off right here.
Another good change-up. 0-2 to Ryan McCann. David Price with 5 strikeouts. The Yankees have 2 hits. Price threw 29 pitches in that 3rd inning. He was able to get out of the inning. He stranded the bases loaded. But the air by Cliff Pennington, which would have been the 2nd out of the inning, elevated that pitch count.
But I think on a night like tonight, Buck, I think you stretch him out a little bit further than normal. The circumstances, he's closing in on 100 pitches. It's only the 6th inning. The bullpen has had a lot of work lately, especially in that Boston game, in the Boston series. I think John Gibbons is thinking of maybe stretching him out and getting him up to the 115, 120 pitch limit.
The season high for Price in pitches occurred on May 31st when he was still with the Tigers. He threw 121 pitches in 7 2/3. Out in Anaheim against the Angels, and that was a 4-2 loss. They kept him in the game into the 8th inning. The temperature tonight plays into Price's favor. It's just 17 degrees, a cool night. Up. Price, he makes the catch. Donaldson and Martin just kind of looked at each other, and David said, "I'll take care of it." In the foul territory, they kind of line drive comeback, and now he catches a pop up to end the inning.
fans celebrating Canada's team with a 22-day countdown to the last game of the regular season at home. Share your passion on social media with hashtag 22daysBlueJays and let the celebration begin. And we can update and let you know that Team East is now in Montreal. They were there this morning and met up with Devon White, and they are currently driving to Ottawa. Team West is traveling to from Winnipeg to Sault Ste. Marie. Before you know it, both will be back here in the fine city of Toronto, Buck.
It's a great promotion, 22 Days of Blue Jays, as they're making their way toward Ontario and ultimately here in Toronto. Bottom of the sixth, 3-0 Blue Jays. They have not been able to add to their lead. Adam Warren settled down. James Pazos, the lefty, got 2 outs, and now Caleb Cotham. I think we're going to see a steady stream of relievers as the Yankees try to keep it a 3-run ball game.
You'll see right-handers in the middle of the lineup when the Blue Jays are hitting. Lefties at the bottom and just the top Revere. Let's start bringing them in, try to get the matchups.
Ground ball, Gregorius on the first base side of second, throws out Smoke.
You know, that's why I'd like to see the Blue Jays play for a run. You know, if you get a guy on, maybe run him over or play hit and run. They just haven't been able to get a guy on.
10 straight retired by the Yankee relievers. They haven't had a base runner since Edwin Encarnacion had an infield hit. Hit it off the glove of the third baseman and shot it into left field. Russell Martin's 0 for 2. These relief pitchers are pitching with a lot of confidence. Gotham has retired 4 since he entered the game, all 4 batters as a strikeout.
You know what the Yankees have done over the last 2 years? They've found college relievers late in the draft and then developed them and got them here to the big leagues. David Robertson comes to mind when he was pitching for the Yankees. Mitchell and Pinder and some of the other kids that they have down in that bullpen were all late round draft picks.
And some of them were 4-year college players, so you don't have to pay much for them. They're seniors. They don't have much of a choice.
They all seem to have good arms, I'll tell you that, and good mechanics.
Hard breaking ball. 2 down here in the 6th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Caleb Cotham does his job. He retires all 5 batters he faced tonight. A couple of strikeouts. Jason Shreve, the lefty, in to pitch to Ryan Goins when we come back.
2016 Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Pitcher into the game for the Yankees is the left-hander Chasen Shreve. He's making his 56th appearance of the season. Overall, he's had a good year, but lately it's been a different story for Shreve.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit against the Blue Jays back at Yankee Stadium. He was originally with the Atlanta Braves. That's where the Yankees got him from the Braves. He made his Major League debut last year. This is his 56th game, like you said. Put up some pretty good numbers.
Over his last 7 games, he's 0-1 with an .810 earned run average, giving up 9 hits in 6 2/3. The big concern has been that he's walked 7 in those 6 2/3.
Yeah, that was the problem that he had against the Blue Jays. Just couldn't find the strikes. Remember, I think he walked 2 runners in back at Yankee Stadium.
Ball and a strike to Ryan Goins. Pulled on the ground, bouncing toward right, knocked down by Ackley, but that'll be an infield hit for Ryan Goins. That's the 10th hit that Shreve has allowed in 6 2/3.
And Goins will take it. Breaky ball. He pulls it just out of the reach of Dustin Ackley, who is playing second base tonight. On this carpet, almost gets into the outfield. Goins might have beat that even if he comes up with it cleanly.
Shreve last pitched on Friday against the Mets at Citi Field. They gave up a home run to Juan Uribe, who was batting as a pinch hitter. Shreve gave up a home run to Russell Martin in that Friday night game at New York. Martin's second home run of the game.
And it was also the first home run he'd given up with a runner on base. Sinker slider. That's what you're going to get from a lot of off-speed pitches with a lot of movement.
Brett Cecil appears to be loose and standing by in the bullpen. The ever-present matchup sheets. All the managers in baseball carry them around. Got all the matchups of your pitching staff against their hitters. Villar takes ball 4. Missed downstairs on those last 3 pitches. So Matt Haig will come to the plate to bat against the lefty Chasen Shreve. Haig coming off a terrific season in AAA Buffalo. And he had a great at-bat here on Saturday afternoon. Came into the game as a pinch hitter with the Blue Jays down 7-6. And hit a ball off the wall in center for a double.
I like his aggressiveness. That's what the Blue Jays are going to have to do. They got to figure out a way to get an add-on run. The Yankees just got a right-hander up when Haig was brought into the game, and I think that's why you've got McCann out there to bide some time.
I don't think they're going to have time to get Pinder ready.
I don't either.
He is just now starting to loosen up. This is his first pitch out of the stretch. So Haig will face Shreve with 2 on and 2 outs. Matt Haig is 30 years old. He's from Washington, born in Bellevue, Washington. Spent some time with the Pirates. Bounced in the dirt. Good block by McCann.
Larry Rothschild's going to come out and talk to Shreve. This is the same type of game that we saw in that doubleheader. He allowed a run. He had 3 walks in just a third of an inning against the Blue Jays. He was cutting a lot of balls off. Just wasn't finishing his pitches. The Blue Jays, to their credit, were taking their share of walks.
He came into that game in the 11th inning, and this really had a tough time of it. Issued a leadoff walk to Russell Martin, who was pinch hitting in the 11th inning of game 1 of that doubleheader. Then he gave up a RBI single to Ben Revere and walked in another run. 2 more, in fact. 3 bases loaded walks. Matt Haig was the International League Player of the Year for the Buffalo Bisons.
There are the runners on base. Ryan Goins got to get a big secondary lead. Louis Rivera is going to send him on any base hit in the outfield.
Ball off the plate. Leadoff man is on deck, Ben Revere. McCann may have gone out there and said, you know what? Let's don't lay one in there for this righty. We got a left-handed hitter on deck. That's the value of an experienced catcher like McCann.
Stay with me here. Stay with me. Let's talk about what we want to do here. If you end up walking him, okay, we'll take our chances with the left-hander. Good hack.
Full count, 2 outs. The runners will be off on the pitch. Owens from second. He had an infield single. Pilar's at first. He walked. It's just a 3-run game. The Blue Jays certainly could use some insurance. Pulled foul. Matt Haig pinch hitting for Cliff Pennington. Ball 4, that'll load the bases. So Shreve continues to struggle. He hasn't recorded an out. He came in, gave up an infield hit to Goins, walked Pilar. Now he's walked the pinch hitter. Matt Haig, Darwin Bonney will take over at first as a pinch runner, and he will obviously go to second defensively. Matt Haig walked to load the bases.
Well, now this is the big one right here. You got to figure out a way to get him in.
Revere put a charge in it, but Beltran makes the catch. The Blue Jays leave the bases loaded. It will go to the 7th. Still a 3-run game.
Button pack, I'm sure, love Newfoundland. If you can't make it to the game, the new Sportsnet app has you covered. Keep up to speed with everything Blue Jays. Don't miss a pitch with our in-depth live game tracker. Plus the latest news, videos, and interviews on Canada's team. Download the new Sportsnet app today. How about that, guys? Newfoundland loves you.
I love Newfoundland. It's a beautiful place. Been out there a few times, and we appreciate the support. That's Darwin Barney, who entered the game as a pinch runner. He takes over defensively at second base. David Price, 2 hits through 6 innings. Beltran, Headley, and Greg Bird against Price here in the 7th. David Price ahead, 0-2. Carlos Beltran has gotten some big hits for the Yankees all season long. He had a pinch hit 3-run home run in David Price's game here earlier in the season. That was off Aaron Sanchez, and Price left that ball game in line for a win.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to sweep him. But Beltran came through big time. He also had a big home run in that Mets series. 3-run home run on Saturday, I believe.
And he had the decisive blow to put the Yankees ahead last night. Off the reliever, he drove in 2 runs in the 6th inning, started that 5-run 6th inning. 0-2, Price to Beltran. David Price, for his career, is 47-21 against the American League East. Price knocks it down. It stays near the mound. He flips the smoke quickly.
Help is only 140 million miles away. The Martian. In theaters, October 2nd.
David Price has retired 12 straight Yankees. The last Yankee to reach, Brett Gardner, with a 1-out walk in the 3rd. Great pitchers like David Price take charge of the situation.
Yeah, that's what you're hoping for. You need him to come up big. With change up there. We were talking about that last inning, how important a night like tonight is. Weather-wise, it's cool. You're not going to wear down, I think, and that's why you can stretch him out a little bit further tonight than you normally would.
In a row.
High fastball. Elevates it against Headley. 3-pitch strikeout. That is up there for a reason. Thinking that they can't get on top of it.
Greg Bird pulls it foul into the seats. David Price, pitching here in the 7th, has dropped his earned run average to 234. The best in the American League. And he's feeling it. When Price walked Gardner in the 3rd, that loaded the bases. Then he struck out Rodriguez and got McCann to fly out to end the inning. That's the last Yankee threat.
Going to make him work, though. Still got some zip on that fastball. That was pitch number 111. Pitch like that.
As you know, you can't hit it.
I mean, that one was right off of the plate.
This kid's a good-looking hitter.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be in the moment, doesn't he? Slowing things down. Doesn't get too far ahead of himself.
Retired the last 14 Yankees to come to the plate. maximize Price and line him up to pitch against the Yankees.
And they use the off days to do that, and they have been rewarded with 4 stellar performances against the New York Yankees. This is the last out there of the 7th inning, a check swing, and how about David Price appreciating the crowd as the crowd appreciates his effort tonight.
Price has talked about this atmosphere as being the best he's ever pitched in. He has a 3-0 lead. Brandon Pinder, the new pitcher for the Yankees.
Blue Jays have seen a lot of Pinder in a short 23 games. This is his first taste of the big leagues. He's 0-2, but a very good earned run average. And this has been what Joe Girardi has done so far. That's going to bring in the right-handers to face the meat of the order.
Adam Warren started, went 3 1/3, charged with all 3 of the Blue Jays' runs. They all came in the first inning. No one has scored since. Ripped into the seats. Donaldson 1 for 2. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the first.
He got that slider on the inner half, and he's a little bit out in front. And yanks that ball foul. They have been keeping the ball away from him. That time he missed his spot.
Missed his spot again. Bounced it well in front of home plate. 2-2.
This time curveball in front of home plate and off the face mask of McCann.
This is another one of those pitchers you talked about, a college relief pitcher from Cal State Fullerton, 16th round draft pick.
And here he is, good arm.
This is his first taste of the big leagues. He's 26 years old. He's made just 9 minor league starts. His background is as a reliever. David Price and Russell Martin, another effective battery tonight. Inside. Full count to Donaldson. Bautista then Encarnacion.
Looks like another breaking ball. 3-2. Missed it.
Backed up on it. Donaldson is aboard for the 3rd time.
Right fielder number 19, Jose Bautista.
Bautista, with a base hit in the first inning, drove in the first Blue Jay run of the night. The Jays worked over the Yankee starter Adam Warren. They made him throw 35 pitches in the first inning. They tallied 3 runs. David Price, the handshake indicating he is done for the night.
You know, it was the first inning and the 6th inning where the Blue Jays struck and then had a chance to add on. Everything in between, the Yankee pitchers have done a good job against this best scoring team in the American League. And now it's up to Bautista. He's faced Pinder before. If you remember, it was Jose who had the game-winning home run at Yankee Stadium against Pinder.
Extra innings in the 10th. Andrew Bailey loosening up. base hit past Ashton. Donaldson's around second. He's headed for third. Bautista headed for second. He'll get there standing up.
You know, this is the value, I think, of Jose Bautista. He's not just a guy who just sits back and just tries to spin on every pitch. There's a method to his madness at times, and that was totally, let's go the other way. You got me, you're going to give me that right side of the infield wide open. I'm going to take advantage of it. He drives that ball by Ackley, sending Donaldson to third base. He hustles into second base on a ball that should have been a double play ball. He inside-outs that ball for extra bases. And the Blue Jays have something going here.
So with first base open, they're going to put Encarnacion on. Teams don't walk too many intentionally because this is such a deep lineup.
They don't normally walk the right-hander to get to a left-hander.
It's the 10th intentional walk issued to the Blue Jays all season long.
But it's Edwin Encarnacion.
And it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely. Now you can set up an out at any base. The fans are upset because they want to see that Edwin, but he's not going to get a chance this time.
Bases are loaded. Now it's time for the drive of the game, presented by the all-new 2016 Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, the Blue Jays are hoping for more, but they got the drive of the game tonight. This was in that first inning. Changeup down, and Justin Smoke golfs it over the head of the right fielder Carlos Beltran for an extra base. He got an RBI on the hard slide at second base. Our drive of the game, and the Blue Jays are hoping for some more.
So Justin Smoke will bat. Pinder is out. Andrew Bailey is in. The bases are loaded. Nobody out. Face Justin Smoke, just the 5th appearance for Bailey all season long. He's been battling injury problems. He was the A's closer early in his career, and a good one.
Yeah, he was an all-star for a couple of seasons with Oakland. Now he's bounced around because he's had some arm injuries. He made his first major league appearance since July 12th of 2013 at Oakland when he was with the Boston Red Sox. That was his Yankees debut the last time he pitched. That was just on September the 2nd. So Bailey is in, and he's in a tight situation.
The Blue Jays left the bases loaded in the 6th. They have the bases loaded. The infield is drawn in. The Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead. Justin Smoke, the batter. He had an RBI double in the first.
Make him come to you. You don't want to get too anxious in this situation right here. There are his numbers with the bases loaded. That one grand slam came in Yankee Stadium this season.
Off of Ivan Nova. Blue Jays have hit 6 grand slams. Popped up on the infield. Infield fly rule ineffective, fair. It's a foul ball. Smoke pops out to Bird.
Well, that was by design right there. Bailey was going to go upstairs. He wanted a strikeout or a pop-up. And he got the pop-up. Now the middle of the infield can drop back. And you got to figure that Russell Martin is going to really work over Bailey here. He has come up with some big hits this season against the Yankees.
Martin has 4 home runs and 14 RBIs against his former team, the Yankees. Russell Martin has a home run against Andrew Bailey. He also has 4 grand slams.
Now he's got to shorten up. He's pulling off the ball just a little bit too much. Bailey's got that natural cutter on his fastball. Breaking ball. It's going to be going away from Russell. He's got to think about shooting the ball back to the middle or the other way.
The Blue Jays have stranded 7 base runners so far. That's going to be into the seats, out of play. Much better approach by Martin with 2 strikes.
Slow it down. He's much better when that ball comes to him. How many times have we said it this year? His power, he's got very good power to right center field.
Center. Donaldson tags at third. Martin delivers the sac fly. Bautista goes second to third. Big at bat for Russell Martin.
Good at bat for Russell Martin. Looked a little bit anxious the first couple of pitches, like he was pulling off of it. He said, all right, I got to slow things down. I got to make sure that ball comes to me. And he smoked that ball to center field. Another sacrifice fly by the Blue Jays.
Ryan Goins, he's had a good night at the plate. He's been on base twice. Had an infield hit his last time up. Bautista at third and Encarnacion at first. David Price 4-0 after Blue Jay losses, trying to make it 5-0. Aaron Sanchez, the 8th inning pitcher.
Up and ready to go. He started warming up when the Blue Jays started hitting, just to make sure he's got plenty of time to get loose. He'll be in the ball game.
Andrew Bailey, the 5th relief pitcher to work for the Yankees. Brandon Pinder started this inning. He walked Donaldson Gave up a double to Bautista and then intensely walked in Encarnacion. He didn't record an out. Ground ball to second. Ackley has it. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays get a run in the bottom of the seventh. They've taken a 4-0 lead. We'll go to the eighth. Aaron Sanchez coming on to protect this lead for David Price. In charge all night long.
Well, that was the first batter of the game. That could have been dangerous. A line drive that he picks off the air, and then he started to go to work. He got stronger and stronger, I think, as the game went on. It was a good night for him to work, a cool night, so he got stronger and stayed fresh throughout the whole game. 7 innings, just 2 hits by the Yankees. One of those was a broken bat single by Rodriguez in the first inning. There was also an error and then a hit by Ellsbury in the third, and then Price went to work. He retired the side in order in the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. And he walks off with the lead here as the Blue Jays get ready for the 8th.
David Price retired the final 14 batters he faced tonight for 114 pitches. He dropped his ERA to a league-leading 2.34. So now the Blue Jays go to the bullpen. Aaron Sanchez has been used as the 8th inning guy. He's on in this 4-run game.
And it's been a success starting in the 8th inning. There are the numbers for Aaron in 35 games this season. He won 7 games. A lot of those were as a starter. He's been the setup man, and he has been pounding that strike zone with that fastball.
David Price with 7 innings goes up to 215 1/3 for the season. It's 8-9-1 for the Yankees here in the 8th. Didi Gregorius, Dustin Ackley, and back to the top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury.
This has been the formula that has worked for the Blue Jays since they moved Sanchez into the bullpen in that 8th inning role. Pound that strike zone with the fastball. Just keep it down.
Roberto Osuna loosening up, stretching down in that bullpen. Leadoff walk. Blue Jays back end of the bullpen. Sanchez is 23. Osuna's 20. Going through a pennant race for the first time in their career.
Just a little off right there. Like he's not finishing his pitches or trusting his pitches. Last time out a couple of days ago, that was against the Boston Red Sox. Aaron didn't get an out. Gave up 3 hits and 2 runs.
Brett Cecil starting to loosen up with Ellsbury and Gardner top of the order. Ball 1 to Dustin Ackley.
And I'll tell you what, the patience of the Yankees, they understand and they see what's going on. So does Pete Walker. So Pete's going to come out and have a word with Aaron.
The bullpen since the All-Star break has been terrific, especially when you look at the first 41 games. ERA was great, opponents hitting under 200, but Pat, lately things have gotten a little bit tighter for the bullpen.
Last 16, the ERA elevated. The opponent's batting average, everything has been up, and they've run into some tough teams, and they haven't made pitches. One of the problems has been the lack of command, I think. Some walks have filtered in there also.
Well, Pete Walker out with some encouragement for his young pitcher, Aaron Sanchez. Going to reach the seats out of play. Sanchez back ahead in this at bat. 1-2. Base hit past Goins in the left field. Gregorius is going to third. The ball will go to second. The first two reach here in the 8th.
Boy, just what the Blue Jays were hoping would not happen. You got 8-9-1. And I'll tell you what, John Gibbons is going to go right to his bullpen.
No time to allow anybody to work things out. You're running out of games. So Sanchez walked to Gregorius to start the inning. Red hot Dustin Ackley gets a base hit. Top of the order. Ellsbury and Gardner, a pair of lefties. Sanchez will turn things over to Brett Cecil.
Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
David Price retired the final 14 he faced in this ballgame. Aaron Sanchez came in and gave up a walk and a base hit. Now Brett Cecil into the game to face a couple of lefties, top of the order for the Yankees.
This is 3 days in a row for Brett Cecil. He threw 6 pitches on Saturday, 14 in yesterday's ball game versus the Boston Red Sox. And Brett was charged with the loss when he gave up an unearned run in yesterday's game, but overall his numbers very good. It's a tall order right here. You got the top of the order coming up, a couple of left-handers. Cecil has been really good against lefties this season.
Runners at the corners, nobody out. Jacoby Ellsbury hitting just .217 against Brett Cecil, 5 for 23. Right now, Cecil just needs to get some outs.
Outs. That's what they're worried about right now. A run at third base doesn't mean anything. They will trade a run for an out.
Off the plate outside. Ellsbury 1 for 3. 2-0. Good running fastball inside. The Yankees loaded with veteran players. Experienced in tough ball games.
And they don't panic. You know, they get a couple of runners on.
Got a good pitch.
Have good at bats. That one right in on his hands.
The Blue Jays have the advantage in the season series 11-5. But the interesting thing is the road team has won 8 of the last 10 games these two teams have played. Up the middle, base hit. Gregorius in to score. Ellsbury delivers, and the Yankees are on the board.
Boy, sometimes when you make a good pitch, good hitters just find a way. Breaking ball down and away. And look at Ellsbury go after that one. Russell Martin was expecting that ball in the dirt. And it's up the middle for a base hit.
Didi Gregorius with the leadoff walk comes in to score. Ackley stops at second. Brett Gardner. He's 0 for 2 with a walk so far. Eighth inning. 4-1 Blue Jays. Still nobody out. One and two. The Troy Hawkins, a veteran, loosening up. Boy, that's a good pitch. He got it right inside, 96 miles an hour, and tied up Gardner.
And it was up. And the significance of that pitch being up, that's the same plane that curveball comes out of, if he decides to go back to it.
Gardner hangs tough against lefty pitching, batting .280 for the season.
Yankees stole one from the Blue Jays the last time they were here. If you remember that game, it was August the 14th. Price had a 3-0 lead into the 8th inning. Got it out, and then the Yankees ended up scoring 4 runs to steal that first game of the series. Blue Jays are trying to hold on one more time.
In the dirt. Full count. Gardner walked in the third to load the bases. Price was able to get out of it. Ackley singled. Ellsbury had an RBI single.
It's a big pitch right here. Big pitch.
got it. He freezes Gardner, and he didn't like it. Greg Gibson turned away. Gardner goes back to the dugout.
Curveball, 3-2. Gardner thinks it's up. Home plate umpire thinks otherwise. He's the only one that matters.
Alex Rodriguez. Brett Cecil, 1-2 to Alex Rodriguez.
Trying to work his way out of this tight jam right here. He has faced Rodriguez 24 times. So these two know each other.
Rodriguez strikes out for the third time. 2 outs.
Another one of those spike curveballs. He spins and he puts it in a good spot. Too close to take. Rodriguez swings over the top of it. He was arguing that he might have foul tipped that one, but I didn't see it.
Brian McCann, the catcher. Sanchez and Cecil have reversed roles. This time of the year, it doesn't make any difference who gets the job done.
No, just get the job done if you're the Blue Jays. Good pitch. Right in on his hands.
Biggest inning of Brett Cecil's career. The Yankees score 1, but they leave 2. Now time for a Blue Jay Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.
Things Blue Jays, and it's where you can go to vote for today's play of the game. You can do so tonight and after every Blue Jays game, only on sportsnet.ca. Guys, I think maybe 3 plays of the game, all courtesy of Brett Cecil.
This is the last pitch to Brian McCann as Cecil strikes out the side. Russell Morton and Brett Cecil pumped up to get out of that jam.
And why wouldn't you be? Couple of runners on. You give up a tough base hit. Gibby says, nice job, Brett. You end up striking out the side in a jam. Tell you what, the fans got fired up on that one.
Waiting a long time for an inning like that. Andrew Bailey gets ahead of Kevin Pillar, and there's a ground ball. Bird will flip to Bailey. 1 down. What a job by Brett Cecil getting out of that jam. He inherited a tough situation, and boy, oh boy, has he been great.
Yeah, 2 runners on and nobody out. In the top of the order, he threw a great pitch to Ellsbury. I mean, a great pitch. And somehow Ellsbury got it back to the middle for an RBI single. So run in, 2 runners on. What does he do? He ends up striking out the side. That might have been his best inning, and I've seen every one of them for Cecil in his career. That might have been his best.
Darwin Barney hits it on the line to left field. Gardner is there. Barney batting for the first time. Entered the game as a pinch runner in the 6th. 2 down. What a night for baseball. First of 3, folks. We got 2 more of these coming up. Tomorrow night, Marco Estrada and Luis Severino. Ben Revere scored the first run of the ball game after singling. He scored on Bautista's RBI single. Strike 2. Roberto Osuna ready for the 9th. Hit for Revere. His 2nd of the night.
Boy, how does he do it? Looks like he's going to get beat by that fastball, and somehow he's got enough wood on it, and he puts it in a good spot. Doesn't hit it that hard. There's the cutter. Just enough wood on it to get it by Headley and DeGregorius for a base hit. Now do you run him here?
I would give him the green light. If he can get a jump, let him take it. Runs have been tough to come by.
Yeah, and this is where the Blue Jays, where they do their scattering report, where it comes in handy before the game. How long does it take Bailey to get that ball to the catcher?
Big high leg kick there. Tim Leeper's going to go over and chat with Revere at first.
He'll give him the number. And he'll give him the green lights. Tell you, you were talking about the catchers, 2 of the best catchers, offensive catchers. We got 2 of the best defensive catchers, especially throwing out base runners in this series.
McCann has thrown out 35.8% of the base stealing. He's got 24 this season. They're going to throw to first here. Russell Martin has had his best season ever in his career gunning down base runners.
He's thrown out one more than McCann at 25 this year. If he's going to steal, he's going to have to get a bigger lead than what he's showing right now.
Ben Revere with 2 more hits tonight now has 166 hits for the season, 57 since coming to the Blue Jays. High pop up. Ackley, the second baseman, waits on it, and the inning is over. The Blue Jays get a 2-out single, but they leave a runner. We will go to the ninth. Roberto Osuna coming out of the bullpen. A save situation. Beltran, Headley, and Bird for New York. On to pitch the ninth. The Blue Jays have a 4-1 lead. This is the first game of the final 3-game series between the Yankees and the Blue Jays.
Great numbers this season for Osuna in his 61 games. You can marinate over those numbers right there. But what has he done against the Yankees? He's been able to step his game up in his first season in the big leagues. 7 games against the Yankees. He's 3 for 3 in save opportunities. Pitched 9 innings. The Yankees have hit 107 against Osuna. Chance to get another save here in the ninth.
Carlos Beltran. First pitch inside. Osuna was charged with the loss on Saturday. Gave up 3 runs on 2 hits to Boston. There's a slider, little mix-up. Ball in the strike.
That game that you were just talking about, when he gave up the 3 runs, it was a lot of fastballs. There's another slider right there. It was a lot of fastballs, and it was a home run by Jackie Bradley Jr. after that. And I saw Pete Walker the next day, and I asked him about that at bat, and he said maybe he should have used his slider because it's coming along. It's a good one.
Popped up, playable. Goins behind second. Waits on it. 1 down. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. First pitch inside to the first baseman, or excuse me, Chase Headley, the third baseman. He is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Osuna needs to get back on the horse after that outing Saturday. Osuna has never been intimidated by the pressure.
Just the thought of a breaking ball locks up Chase Headley. That fastball is right there. 2 down.
Fly ball deep to center field. Pilar watches this one bounce off the wall. Bird is headed for second, and he'll get there with a long double off the wall. Actually, they call a home run now. He played it off that facing. Bird hits another home run. That's his 9th home run to straightaway center. Looked like the ball hit the facing of that second deck, the hitter's background. Jim Joyce, the third base umpire, came over to indicate a home run.
One more time. Let's see where it hits. Yeah, it looks like it came straight down off that black backdrop for a home run.
D.D. Gregorius, unfazed by the long ball, Osuna throws strike one.
Yeah, that's the key right there. Don't try and overthrow now just because you gave up a home run.
Improves to 8-1 as a Blue Jay.
You want to come out in a huge series like this one against the Yankees. You get your ace pitching. He was mowing them down. He got deep into the ball game. Brett Cecil, what a job he did to come in and basically save it in the 8th. They get enough runs to take game 1 and go 3.5 games up on the Yankees.
David Price wins it. He goes to 17-5. The Blue Jays have a 3.5 game lead with 12 games to go. Game 2 tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night. Here is Sportsnet Central. Ken Reed and Ivanka Osman.